Good evening and welcome to all the participants joined in the daily virtual program on work-life balance conducted by Professional Skills Enrichment Committee of Institute of Chartered Accountant of India in association with Heartfulness. We have with us today's resource person Mr. Rajiv Gupta sir and our expert Mr. Deepak Khanduri sir from Heartfulness. We welcome you both in this platform. With this, I am introducing our today's resource person Rajiv Gupta sir. He is a versatile individual, blending a background as a heartfulness trainer, brighter minds, and life coach with a distinguished career as an ex-Indian Air Force officer. With a double postgraduate engineering degree, he brings both technical expertise and creativity to life. As a poet and writer, and captures deep insights and emotion. Together, these experiences reflect his commitment to continuous growth, self-discovery, and inspiring others to live with purpose and mindfulness. With this brief introduction, I am handing over the session to Rajiv Gupta, sir.
Thank you for your introduction, and I heartily welcome everyone who is online attending this session. My heartful greetings to all of you, and I really feel proud to be part of this forum. I think this is my fifth session in this forum, and I've been conducting on different topics related to work-life balance, particularly trying to explain things which I directly experience or feel that it is appropriate for us to share. And that's what my presentations are all about. So before we start the presentation part, let's do a centering for a couple of minutes, as we have been doing in every session. I request all of you to gently close your eyes और एक दो लंबी गहरी सांसें लें. And feel yourself relax. Let your body feel completely relaxed. Now bring your attention to your heart. And connect to the divine within, to the source within, to the God within, to that power within. And pray that may this session be helpful in understanding the lessons of life. May we become more aware, more knowledgeable, and adopt these knowledge for our growth. With this prayerful attitude, let's keep ourselves in this state for a couple of minutes till I say that's all. That's all. You all can gently open your eyes. Once again, I welcome you all to this session. Let me share my presentation. Okay, now beliefs. The word which is flashed on the slide, beliefs. I don't think I need to elaborate much about the beliefs. Now, beliefs can be limiting beliefs, they can be empowering beliefs, they can be helpful, unhelpful in different ways. And we develop these beliefs by learning, by observing since our childhood. We learn from our family, society, friends, environment, and we build our beliefs. And those beliefs are deep within our brain. They get established there. They get neurologically, hardwired. So those beliefs we are going to discuss about. My basic purpose of this presentation is to bring out certain facts, how the beliefs are formed. See, mostly we are unaware. Whatever we are doing, whatever we are thinking, whatever we are behaving, in some way or the other, we are reinforcing our beliefs and they define our life. So it's very, very pertinent for all of us to understand how these beliefs are generated, how these beliefs are formed inside us, inside our brain. So let's understand a little more biologically, neurologically. Maybe it will be relevant to all of us. And when we understand this, we will know if we are thinking this way, if we are behaving this way, if we are slaves to these kind of habits or belief system, what it is doing to your brain, what is happening inside you. Basically, it will give you that kind of awareness. So let's understand what beliefs are. So beliefs are formed neurologically through complex interaction between various regions of brain. So I'll discuss in my course of presentation that the brain has different segments, different parts, and every part has its own function. So beliefs are formed neurologically through complex interaction between various regions of brain, influenced by three fundamental things. One is that sensory inputs. We draw sensory inputs, raw inputs from our senses, what we see, what we touch, smell, hear, or taste. That's the input which we give it to ourselves through these senses, through the senses which we have. They are the raw inputs which are going in our brain. And these inputs, when clubbed with experiences, then there it causes an interaction. We'll discuss a little more in detail. The second important part is experiences. Sensory inputs, experiences. And the third part is cognitive processes. So we take input by way of our thinking, our behavior, our conduct, by way of utilizing our senses. And then we experience those things inside. And once we experience, then we have contemplative process of doing the cognitive analysis, cognitive process. So these three are important ingredients for forming belief. So now I'll give an example here. For example, if you taste a mango, let's say a Langla mango, or the Shahri mango, or Chausa mango. Let's imagine a Langla mango. When you take a mango, you touch it, you feel that it is perfectly ripe, You can feel it, you can see it, you are giving the input through your touch, you are giving input through your eyes, and also when you are tasting, you are giving input through your through the taste. Once it goes inside, it goes to your brain, and that brain takes that as a raw input. And this input, once it goes inside, there is a storehouse, there is a memory which has stored experiences, past experiences. So you have an experience of langla, mango somewhere in the brain. It matches and it feels. Then you feel no taste. It is tasting very good or sweet, and a particular flavor. Mango, langla mango will definitely be different from the sherry mango. So you have an experience of a particular kind of mango. And then you have a cognitive processes. Cognitive processes, it will have the subsequent that, oh, it was not as sweet as I ate last time, or it is little no, not ripe properly. So you are trying to do cognitive analysis. This input is also going inside your brain. So there are three things which are there. You have a sensory inputs, you have experiences associated with that sensory input, and then you have cognitive processes. The cognitive processes does the analysis part. So these three things will give you the total entire no, belief of taste of mango, which is stored in your brain. So if you have the cognitive process which talks something different about the mango, your belief system will start changing, because all three things will make your belief system. So the you have here in this particular diagram, you can see different segments of brain. I'll discuss in my subsequent slides that each part of your brain has different function. For example, in this diagram, you can say frontal lobe. Frontal lobe, this is the frontal lobe. You can see this frontal lobe. This is very, very key. This is the executory functions. It has a lot of role to play in decision making, analysis, lot of contemplation. It happens in this segment of the brain. So we'll discuss as we proceed further. Perception and sensory input. This we will discuss. Beliefs often begin with the interpretation of sensory information. Now, when you take raw input through our senses, it does not convey any meaning to brain. It is only, it needs to be interpreted. Once it is interpreted, then it conveys meaning. So, for example, what we see, hear, or feel gets processed in sensory specific brain areas. So, every brain area will have on the surface of it what we call sensory cortex, where they interpret the information which is passing through these senses. So, that is what will happen. The brain filters this input based on prior experiences. So now the input which has come, the sensory input which has come, your taste input which has come, your feel, your touch or eyes, through your eyesight, that input has come. It is now, it has to be interpreted and then filtered. How you will filter? Now you will filter based on your past experiences. The Langla mango would taste like that. Then you will compare with that. There is some kind of expectation that the mango should taste like that. How do you have this expectation? Because that kind of experience is stored inside us. So the brain filters this input based on prior experiences, expectations, and attention, shaping how the information is perceived. Then you perceive the information. So if sensory inputs are there, it leads to perception. You draw a perception. So these are all are the processes of your neurology or the brain. So we need to understand how the information flows inside. Now here you can see these are the association areas. See, any information which are given through our sensory inputs, they have association. Now, if you look at this, I'll just tell you briefly about it, that the attention association area is the frontal lobe. This is the frontal lobe. This is the frontal lobe. This is where you are attentive. You are absolutely in cognition of the fact that whatever input which is coming, you are trying to analyze. You do that. This is an attention area or the frontal lobe, and this is a very, very prime area of brain where we do a lot of analysis, entire decision making, all process of information in terms of analysis, logic, all that thing is done in the frontal cortex, frontal lobe. And then comes the parietal lobe. Now, parietal lobe has two primary functions. It has this is the parietal lobe. It has a touch. All the touch related informations they are going to this part of the brain. Like, for example, if you have a temperature, the temperature, whether it's cold or hot, or it is 90 degrees, 100 degrees, all that sense, the information gets processed here. You have special information which gets processed here. So this part of the brain is the parietal lobe. Parietal lobe. Then you have a temporal lobe. Now this temporal lobe is primarily the processing. It processes the language. Whatever we speak, the entire language processing takes place here. You have all audio informations, all sensory information coming through your ears. They get processed in this part of the brain. And then this behind is the occipital lobe. Occipital lobe is primarily all the information which are coming through your eyes, the views, whatever you see, all these informations get processed in the occipital lobe. And this particular part is called cerebellum. Cerebellum is the mini brain, and this is primarily aimed to have the balance, the motor skill, all these kind of, the entire balance of the body is done by this part of the brain. So actually, if I say that we have nearly what I have read, first of all, let me have a disclaimer that I am neither a neuroscientist nor a doctor nor a research fellow in this domain. I have just developed this presentation to see how I relate my belief generation to my activities in the brain. So a very, very broad understanding I have, and I'm just trying to put things together so that we understand how the belief systems are formed, how any thought which has an impact in our brain. So how does it happen? Like the brain has, it is said that 86 billion neurons. 86 billion neurons. Can you imagine? It's a huge number, and these neurons they play a key role in forming neural networks, neural pathways. All the learnings which we do through our senses and we derive through our experiences, through our contemplation, cognitive processes, they create neural pathways, neural networks, neural connections, and those connections get stored, and they form your thought processes, they form your belief system. So this is what is the association area when we generate our belief system. Now, the first thing is that you take an input. You have taken an input, sensory input, you associated with experience, and then you also associated with your cognitive process. These three things which we saw in the previous slide. Now, all these processes, where do they go? Now, these processes get stored in the memory somewhere in the brain. So first process ho gaya information. After processing, the entire information will get stored in the memory somewhere. So let's see what happens in the memory integration. There is a element of the brain, the part of the brain which is called hippocampus. It plays a key role in consolidating information, memory, connecting new experiences with past knowledge. This is very critical. This is a part of a brain. I'll flash it in the slide so that you understand what exactly we are talking about. Hippocampus. Beliefs often form when new information aligns with the experience, previous information. Or challenges exist, memories and schemas. So, for example, if you have a mango taste, langda mango taste in that particular way, and when you tasted this, you have an experience of previous experience of langda mango taste, and if you taste again and you find that the taste is same, then you are sending the message. So your information which is getting stored is becoming deeper, because now you are affirming that whatever taste which was there earlier, now it is tasting same. Then you feel that yes, langda mango taste is a belief you are forming. But suppose if that mango is not tasting well, or it is sour, or it is not ripe properly, so then you will contemplate and say, no, all Langla mangoes do not taste like that. It's really bad. I didn't like it. So what happens? You are contradicting your previous experience. So you're changing your belief. Then you, instead of saying that all Langla mangoes are tasty, now you are changing a belief. No, it's not necessary that all Langla mangoes will be tasty. So I'm just giving an example to, you can correlate that. So you can, if you are reinforcing the earlier experience, then it reinforces your belief. And if you are contradicting the earlier experience, then you are diluting that belief system. So that's how the mental framework works. This is the diagram. If you see, this is what is called hippocampus. You can see this part is the hippocampus part. This is where the all everything gets stored. The memory part of it, what we said about that, the sensory information coupled with experience and coupled with your cognitive processes, whatever the outcome is there, it gets stored here. So this is where the information gets stored, which we call hippocampus. Then the next part is that the storage is not only the memory, there is an emotional angle associated with it. So anything which gets stored inside our brain will definitely have an impact more if it is influenced by emotions. That's why it is said often enough, when we do affirmations, when we do any kind of resolute affirmation, if it is not having the congruent feeling associated with it, it will be not effective. So when you do any affirmation and you associate with feeling, emotions, then those affirmations will have more intense imprints in your brain. So therefore, it is emotional influence is very, very powerful. So how it does? Emotions play a significant role in belief formation. There is a part of the brain which is called amygdala. It processes emotional responses which can reinforce beliefs, especially those tied to fear, reward, or pleasure. If you have tasted something, mango you tasted, and you feel really joyful, maza aa gaya kha ke aaj. It was really wonderful. That is enforcing your belief much more stronger than being indifferent. You just tasted and you forgot, you are not worried about it, theek hai, kha liya, kha liya. So that will not have that kind of imprint inside. So emotional influence plays a very, very vital role. And emotional prominence increases the likelihood of belief retained or strongly held. So if it is coupled with emotions, it will make your belief stronger and it will hold stronger. And where does this all happen? It happens in amygdala. Amygdala is a part of brain. Let's see, this is the amygdala. This the green part which you see is the amygdala, where all emotional aspects, emotional responses, the memory associated with emotional connect is stored here. This is how it happens. Now next comes cognitive processing. So after having information which have gone through the initial input to the memory, now it has gone to the memory stored, what happens next? Now next happens that when you start the cognitive process, the contemplative process, when you start analyzing things later, when you start doing more and more deeper analysis, that is where you are again exploiting your brain to function. What it implies. So there is a prefrontal, all these information which has stored in amygdala or hippocampus or different parts of the brain. Also there are cortex areas where these things get stored. So the prefrontal cortex region is critical for reasoning, evaluation, decision making. Now whatever information you have stored in your brain, now it will be analyzed by prefrontal cortex. That's the frontal part of the brain, and it evaluates decision making, whether eating mango is good or not good, whether I should eat this or not eat. That decision making analysis will be done in the prefrontal cortex. It weighs evidence, compares it with the previous knowledge, and determines the plausibility of new information. So all that weighing everything after having experience stored, now you are analyzing that. So this is the next step in the process of cognitive processing. Then there comes a default mode network. There are two ways of doing the cognitive processing. One is that when you are putting a conscious effort in doing the analysis, you are reasoning out, evaluating, you are putting your conscious effort. That is where your prefrontal cortex comes into action. But there is a default mode network. Default mode network, when you are consciously not putting effort, you are not goal oriented, you are just sitting idle. And when you are not putting any effort to think, then your brain start daydreaming. It starts wandering. It goes here and there. You can see when you are doing idle, you are sitting idle and you are not doing anything, you are not active. Then your brain, your mind starts roaming here and there. It goes where you do not know. So there is something which happens as a part of your default mode network. It functions. It is also helping in the formation of your belief system. So cognitive processes, they do enforce the belief system. So this is what is there. This is what the prefrontal cortex, just a diagrammatic representation, the frontal part of the brain. And this is the default mode network. I do not want to get in detail, nor I know much about it, but I just broadly that they are different segments in the brain where you have a default mode network, particular related to whatever you have memorized or understood. According to that, your mind will keep wandering. Now, next point. I'm going step by step. First, sensory inputs associated with experience. Then you have the cognitive process. If at that point of time, then you're storing the information. Once you store the information, then you are doing contemplation. Now, next part is that your reward and reinforcement. If you, anything which you do good and you get rewarded, it gives you lots of joy within. And once it is associated with that reward, you associate that information with reward, that it reinforces your understanding of that thing. It creates more and more intense belief about that. So it raises this how this happens? This happens through happy hormones. When you get rewarded, there are happy hormones. What we have, serotonin or dopamine, they get released, they get secreted in the body, and you feel joyful. Once those hormones are secreted, when they flow in the system, then you feel elated. And once you are in that emotional state, then your belief system becomes more strong, stronger and stronger. So dopaminergic system is the brain reward system, reinforces beliefs when they are validated or led to positive outcomes. So anything which is validating and you feel good about it and you are rewarded, you feel, yes, I could do that, it's wonderful, then that is what is the reward system, and it gives that kind of kick, and that helps you to form belief system. I'm not saying a belief system forming is good. It's important for us to understand that we should get rid of the unwanted belief, the beliefs which are limiting beliefs, the beliefs which are unhelpful. We should develop beliefs which are helpful, which are empowering beliefs. So if you understand the belief system, how it is formed, then you will be really aware of it, and you will put conscious effort to make the beliefs which are helpful to you. So the next part is dopamine release can strengthen the association between certain thoughts and emotional rewards. This is another happy hormone. Sorry. You can see in the diagram the orange color flow which is showing. It is the serotonin path. Serotonin, the neurotransmitters. They is that path which is showing, which is another happy hormone, and the blue one is showing the sorry dopamine. Excuse me, dopamine pathways. So these are the reward and reinforcement. Just a diagrammatic representation that how these things also reinforce our belief system. And the another point, let me check the time. Okay. Neuroplasticity. I think most of you must have heard about neuroplasticity. This is the buzzword nowadays. This is one of the very, very important, or one of the most important capability of our brain. Neuroplasticity, as the name suggests, plasticity, the way you can mold. It is there in all of us, in all our brains, in everyone, that we have capability to train our brain the way we want. But what happens when during the childhood, that is up to age of 7 years, 8 years, or during that time, the neuroplasticity is maximum. That's how the maximum learning takes place at that time. The entire development of a child brain, major part of development takes place at that time. Therefore, it is very important for all of us to see when a child is born till it becomes 7 8 years. We need to be very cautious what we are feeding him, what we are giving the environment to him or her. That is what is important, because whatever the child perceives, thinks, or sees, it straight goes to its to the subconscious, and it becomes hardened. That is where, at that time, the learning which is there, it remains for a long. So as you grow older and older, the neuroplasticity reduces. So it becomes difficult at the later stage to program your brain. But it is very easy to program your brain in the beginning of your life. So that's how the neuroplasticity, but it remains throughout. We can all utilize this quality, this kind of capability which have been given to we human beings, that we can program our brain, and we can unlearn our beliefs and create new beliefs. So beliefs are not static. They can evolve through neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize neural connections. It can reorganize. As I mentioned, that there are 86 billion neurons. And now they make connections. And that is what is the learning which is stored in our brain. Whatever we are doing, whatever we are behaving, the way we are reacting to situation, all are part of our brain. We do not do it just like that, because we have been programmed that way. So those programs are nothing but the neural connections which we have created. And that happens because of neuroplasticity. Repeated exposure to new ideas or evidence can reshape neural pathways and alter existing beliefs. So बार-बार करने से, repeated exposure to new ideas or evidence can reshape your neural pathways. So that's how it is said that when you continuously doing, like affirmations, when people do it again and again, we keep conveying that, it goes slowly and slowly to your subconscious, and it starts changing your belief system. It starts altering your belief system, what you really want it to be. These are some of the things which we can see. You have brain adaptability. Neuroplasticity means brain adaptability. It's adaptable, whichever you want. Learning changes, injury recovery. You can really, through brain, you can have that kind of recovery. I mean, it's important that through neuroplasticity, you can do that. Environmental influence, as I mentioned, that it plays a vital role in our development of our brain. Developmental flexibility. We develop a flexibility. Then therapeutic potential, like CBT, cognitive behavior therapy. It is basically in the domain of neuroplasticity. Then experience driven changes, memory formation, all these things can be done through, they can be discussed at length. Actually, the time is not that much available where we can see that how much we can do through the process of neuroplasticity. It's really very, very important for us to understand. Now, social and cultural, I think I will just wind up in 5 minutes. Social and cultural influence, mirror neurons. There is another thing which is very important, that mirror neurons in the brain help us to empathize and imitate others, playing a role in adopting beliefs shared by social groups. What is mirror neurons? Mirror neurons means if you are standing and somebody else is standing, and if he's in stress, he's talking something, the same feeling gets generated in you. There is a neurons which are mirror in nature. It gets transferred from that person to you. That's what is a function of. It's a shared belief. That's how we learn the shared belief. Society, whatever society feels, we learn, not naturally. This happens through the mirror neurons. Social interactions and cultural environments influence belief system by shaping the types of information the brain is exposed to and prioritizes. So whatever we interact with people, cultural environment, they all play a role in through our mirror neurons or these kind of things which we have an influence, and they create the kind of belief system inside us. Now this diagram is a depiction of the idea which I just mentioned. We create millions of mirror neurons with mirror which mirror the neural actions and feelings of other people. Like, for example, this gentleman, he lost his job and he says that I don't have money. Now he is very anxious and he is very afraid also. Mentally, he is very. Now the person, maybe a wife, friend, or whosoever she is, now he's sharing this. The same feelings which he has will get transferred to her brain. And this happens through mirror neurons. She has not suffered, she has not lost job, but she has an impact. That's how in society, in culture, we have the learning through them. So the next slide. Brain tends to favor information that confirms existing belief or aligns with its workflow. I will give with the diagrammatic representation. Probably it will be clear. This can lead to reinforcement of beliefs. Now you see cognitive biases. What we say cognitive biases. Now cognitive biases, let's say for example, you will see a particular channel which you are favoring. For example, you will watch for example, I'm just giving an example, not that I'm interested in doing that, but if I like the Aaj Tak channel, I'll watch Aaj Tak channel only because it is matching my belief. So there is a bias attached to that particular thing. Similarly, assuming you are always correct, we always feel that I am correct. This is a bias which I'm creating, attributing other people's success to luck. We say that he's lucky or that's how he's happened. It's not that he has put in effort. It's my belief system which is there. It's a bias which I have created, assuming that everyone else shares the same opinion or beliefs. Whatever I believe, others also should be believing that. Constantly blaming others if things do not work your way. So these are some of the cognitive biases which we have, which creates more and more stronger beliefs. We have to come out of it because if we have to really come out of our belief system, we have to be there. This is a last slide, I think, which talks about subconscious mind and conscious mind. Dr. Bruce Lipton, he has written Biology of Belief, and he has mentioned this book is a very good book where it talks about the subconscious mind and conscious mind. The subconscious mind is 95%. Whatever we are storing, whatever we are learning, all the belief system, it is going into our subconscious. And it is the 95% of your mind. You see how powerful it is. And the conscious mind, which we consciously do, like the way I am speaking, it's a conscious act. So conscious mind is only 5%. Conditioning our activities is only 5%. There's a window with 5%. And see the next point, you can see the subconscious mind, the speed. It has 40 million bits per second. How fast it is. That means subconscious works automatically. So naturally, so fast. Whereas the conscious mind is only 40 bits per second. So there is a difference of nearly ratio of 1 million bit per second. So your conscious mind is very slow and subconscious is very fast. So when we make a habit, it becomes so difficult to overcome those habits or erase those habits because you have to go deep down into subconscious, remove that, and then rewrite another habit or belief system. So it becomes, therefore, we have to be conscious of the fact that whatever we are doing, whatever we are creating, I hope, and we all hope that it is not creating havoc in our brain. We are not creating those kind of belief system which will become so difficult for us to get rid at a later date. So it's so difficult. So we have to be very, very careful when we have to be conscious of all our thinking process, behavior, whatever we do in our life. So once we know our inner biology, once we know our inner neurology, then we should become conscious that we hope we are not damaging ourselves, hope we are not creating something which we find it difficult to recover at a later time. So with this, I conclude my presentation, and the beliefs emerge as the brain's attempt to to make sense of the world by integrating sensory data, emotional significance, and social context with into coherent framework. This process this process is dynamic and influenced by biology, psychology, and environment. This is what we have discussed. We can change our beliefs neurologically by learning, unlearning, and relearning. This is another thing. We can change our belief system. Please remember this, that if you decide today that I have to change my this belief system and make it a new belief system which is helpful to me, which is empowering, you can do that. And it requires effort, but one can do that. That is all as far as my presentation goes. I hope I have not crossed too much of time. I have not taken too much of time, but that was in the context I had to finish the entire presentation. Hope it has been helpful to all of you in some way. My idea was to present and make you understand that what we do, how much it is impacting our brain, where it is going, what is it is getting stored. It should not make our life miserable at a later date, later time. So we need to be conscious whatever we're doing. So we need to believe that we need to have a conscious life driven by the right guidance from the heart. And that is where the heartfulness meditation comes into play. So if you start meditating on the heart, then the right guidance comes, and the right guidance will allow you to send right messages to your brain, program you rightly, and help you. The brain, the mind, they are all instruments. We are programming them by our own conscious acts. So do not program in a wrong way that it troubles you at a later date. So be conscious and program it in a way which is helpful to you, which is empowering to you. With this, I conclude my presentation. So, okay, we will quickly do the relaxation process today. I think last two times which I have done fear detox and then anger detox. Today we'll do the relaxation and then followed by meditation. Hope it is okay. So, and I wish all of you that let's do it seriously, because meditation is a very serious business, and I know it's challenging for people, those who are not used to meditation. For them, it becomes difficult because closing eyes, looking inside for long is challenging initially. But I urge all of you to make conscious effort for at least substantial time and see if it helps you. And definitely it will help you if you all do it properly, if we all do it consistently, with resolve, with the kind of feeling, then it'll work. Definitely it will work. So let's do the relaxation first and then followed by meditation. So let's do it. Gently close your eyes. लंबी गहरी सांसें लें और अपने आप को ढीला छोड़ते जाएं। अब हम गाइडेड रिलैक्सेशन करेंगे। अपना ध्यान अपने पैरों के तलवों पर लेकर जाएं। I'll try to speak both in Hindi and English. Please bring your attention to your feet. Take a thought that healing energy from Mother Earth is entering your feet. आरोग्यकारी ऊर्जा धरती माँ से चलते हुए ऊपर की तरफ पैरों से होकर जा रही है. This healing energy is now entering your feet, relaxing your all the fingers, toes, heels, ankles. ऐसा महसूस करें आपके दोनों फीट पूरी तरह से रिलैक्स हो गए हैं. This energy, healing energy, is moving up through your calf muscles, knees, thighs, relaxing them completely. पूरी तरह से आराम की स्थिति में है. आपके दोनों पैर कंप्लीटली रिलैक्स्ड है. ऐसा महसूस करें. ये हीलिंग एनर्जी पैरों से होते हुए आपके हिप्स, कमर में प्रवेश कर रही है और उन्हें पूरी तरह से रिलैक्स कर रही है. Entire area below your waist, कमर के नीचे का सारा हिस्सा बिल्कुल शिथिल पड़ गया है. ऐसा महसूस करें. Now bring your attention to your back, your lower back, where this healing energy is moving, relaxing your lower back, middle back, upper back. Your entire back is fully relaxed. बिल्कुल आराम की स्थिति में है. ऐसा महसूस करें. अब अपना ध्यान अपने पेट की तरफ लेकर आए और ये विचार लें कि this healing energy is entering your stomach, relaxing each and every part of your stomach. Each and every muscle is relaxed, fully relaxed. Just feel that. Bring your attention to your chest. And take a thought that this healing energy is relaxing each and every part of your chest. Your entire chest is completely relaxed. ऐसा महसूस करें. Just feel that. This healing energy is moving to your shoulders, relaxing them completely. Feel as if your shoulders are drooping, झुक गए हैं और सारा तनाव पिघलकर नीचे बह रहा है, ऐसा महसूस करें। आपके दोनों कंधे बिल्कुल रिलैक्स हो गए। This healing energy is now entering into your hands, upper hand, lower hand, wrists, arms, right up to your fingertips. Both the hands are fully relaxed. Just feel that. Now bring your attention to your neck. And feel that your neck is fully relaxed with this healing energy. ये आरोग्यकारी ऊर्जा गर्दन से होते हुए आपके चेहरे में प्रवेश कर रही है. It is entering your face, relaxing each and every part of your face, your chin, your lips, your teeth, your jaws, nose, ears, earlobes, eyes, eyebrows, forehead, right up to the top of your head. Your entire head is fully relaxed. The whole body is completely relaxed. बिल्कुल तनाव मुक्त, स्ट्रेस फ्री, ऐसा महसूस करें. You can inspect your body once again and see if any part of your body is still tense. Just feel that the healing energy coming up from the Mother Earth is relaxing that part also. Feel yourself completely relaxed. Now bring your attention to your heart. अपना ध्यान अपने हृदय की तरफ लेकर आएं. और ये विचार लें कि आपके हृदय में एक दिव्य प्रकाश मौजूद है. Godly light, divine light is present in your heart. We will now meditate, and during the process of meditation, if your mind wanders, drifts away from this meditation on divine light in our hearts, do not worry about these thoughts emerging. The nature of mind is to think. Let it be, but don't entertain them. Let them come, let them go. And when you remember that your mind is wandering, drifting, you gently suggest that I am meditating on the heart. Bring your attention back to your heart. completely Sakshi Bhav without any stress. Just immerse yourself in this thought, feeling of divinity within. Please start meditation and continue till I say that's all. That's all. बस कीजिए. You can gently open your eyes. In the chat box, I can see 2 questions. So we'll respond to these questions. Thank you for joining this meditation session. Now I'll just try and answer briefly because I think the 1 hour is already over, but let's hope I wind up in another 5 minutes. The first question is, which is better, making sense of your beliefs or making new beliefs? And why? The making sense of your beliefs, that means you are knowing your beliefs, what your beliefs are. So unless you know very clearly that what your beliefs are, and how will you know your beliefs? You will know your beliefs when you introspect, when you dive within, when you try to learn that what you are doing, how you are doing, what are your conduct, behavior, what are the repetitive nature of my being, how I react to the people, how I respond to people, how I respond to situations. Once you do that introspection, then you will understand what are your existing beliefs. So you will make sense of your beliefs. So in any case, you have to start with the process of knowing your beliefs. And then you identify whether this belief is helpful belief or unhelpful belief. Is this belief limiting belief, which is creating hurdle in your progress, or it is empowering belief, which is helping you to grow? So we need to identify what are our beliefs, and then we need to categorize whether this belief is good or bad in that sense, empowering or limiting. So once you know, once you have the sense of this, then you can define your own beliefs, what exactly you want new beliefs to be. And then you can form the belief, your own belief. And how you make the new belief? You make the belief through the processes which I have just narrated in my presentation. You need to send the signals to your brain which are in consonance with your new beliefs which you want to create. You have to have affirmations, regular affirmations with congruent feelings, emotions every day, maybe 1 time, 2 times, thrice in a day. And then your conduct and behavior should be in accordance to those kind of things. Once you keep practicing through the process of neuroplasticity, you will generate new belief. So you can make new beliefs. So first you need to have sense of your existing belief, identify whether the belief is good or bad. Then you get rid of the beliefs which are not helpful, and then you make new beliefs in place which are helpful to you, which are empowering to you. So that is what was the first question. I hope I have answered that. Then the next question is, why and how should we question our beliefs? This I think this thing has already been answered in my first question, but I'll just reiterate once again. Why and how should we question our beliefs? So why part, as I mentioned, that why you should question your belief? Because you will know whether you are doing well in life or not, whether you are able to achieve your goals in life or not. You are the best judge of yourself. No third person, no outsider can judge you. If you know that you are not able to achieve your goal, your objective in life, then that means there is something which is causing hurdle. What is this hurdle which is causing? Why this thing you are not able to achieve? This is primarily because of your limiting belief. Probably you do not have that confidence within you. It's a limiting belief. Probably there is some kind of fears which you are having. That's a limiting belief. So you are not able to achieve that objective goal. That is the question says that why should I question, why we question our belief? We need to question, because unless you question, you will not come to know which belief is helping you to grow and which belief is impeding in your growth. So why is very, very critical, because we have to. Otherwise, if we don't do that, then we'll continue the way we are. We will not improve. So that is the why part. And the next part is, how should we question our beliefs? How should you question our belief? As I mentioned, it's very important that you start introspecting. You should carry out analysis every day, find out your own self within, analyze yourself, keep asking questions till you arrive at the root cause of your problems, and then say that definitely there'll be some underlying beliefs which may be limiting you. So you have to do the introspection. Process of introspection will help you to find your limiting belief. That is what, how, and why and how should you question your beliefs. I hope I have answered these questions to your satisfaction. And thank you very much for joining, and really grateful to you for listening to me, giving me time to express my views. And I will be very, very happy, pleased, content, if I could really help any one of you in understanding how the beliefs are formed, what are the implications of our thought processes of whatever we do, how much it is creating in our brain, how it is functioning, and what we can do the best to make our belief system stronger, to make our beliefs empowering, and we get rid of beliefs which are limiting. Thank you very much. Thank you, and good night.
Thank you, sir, for delivering this wonderful session and making this session very interesting. And thanks to all the participants who have joined this session. With this, we are concluding this session. Thank you all.